Dave gives Rohan a naughty smirk and picks up a soft pillow, throwing it at Rohan, who immediately dodges it. Dave picks up another pillow, but Rohan grabs both of Dave's hands and yanks the pillow from his grip, throwing it on the floor and climbing on top of him. "Baby, you don't have to hide your feelings. Do you really want to kiss me?" The playful atmosphere in the room suddenly changes. Rohan looks into Dave's eyes and carefully lifts his chin, making him look up at him. Dave's heart skips a beat as a rush of warmth spreads through his cheeks. "Hmm?" Rohan asks again, bending down and gently giving Dave a light peck on his lips. "I want to." Dave's voice is merely a whisper. He extends his arms and wraps them around Rohan's neck. Rohan gently holds Dave's chin and looks deep into his hazel brown eyes. It feels like he's living a dream. Never in his wildest dreams did he ever imagine that this day would come when Dave would be lying under him, surrendering himself, willing to let him hold him like this. Dave's pulse quickens as he parts his lips in anticipation. He yearns for this man who has haunted his every waking moment. Dave has imagined doing this with Rohan in 1,000 different scenarios, in 1,000 different positions, but he can hardly believe that this is really happening. "I will have my fill today. I will ingrain him into my soul so when tomorrow comes, I will have no regrets walking away from him. These few hours of happiness will be enough for me to last my entire lifetime." Dave is lost in thought when Rohan bends down to lightly place a kiss on his lips. His warm breath is like a tantalizing whisper against his skin. Dave's thought melts away in an instant when the taste of Rohan's lips sends shivers down his entire body. A soft moan escapes from Dave's mouth as Rohan gently tugs at his lower lip, feverishly kissing him. Dave buries his hands in Rohan's thick and luscious hair, bringing him closer, desperately wanting to fuse his body together with Rohan's so that they don't have to part ways tomorrow. As their tongues glide against each other, Dave's worries fade into obscurity, and the only thing that matters to him at this moment is to taste this man and satisfy the longing he has felt for him for so many months. Their tongues fight for dominance as their hearts beat in sync. Rohan gently pulls away and places a soft kiss on Dave's neck. A shameless moan escapes from Dave's mouth as his body involuntarily arches upwards, brushing his crotch with Rohan's. Rohan playfully nibbles on Dave's ear and softly whispers, "Have you always been this naughty? Your angelic face is really deceiving, you know. Prodding the wolf like this? What are you trying to do to me, Dave is blushing hard. His ear is burning red hot and his whole body feels like it has been struck by lightning as every tiny hair stands up, making him feel more and more fired up. "I want to do it." "I want to do it with you right now," Dave says impatiently, holding Rohan's hips in both his hands and pushing him toward his crotch. Rohan smiles and places a gentle kiss on Dave's forehead before moving away and laying at his side, bringing him closer to let his head rest on his hand and spooning him. "I think you should really get some rest tonight. We don't want our band manager unable to walk tomorrow, do we?" Rohan says with a mischievous grin on his face. Dave turns around immediately, unable to stop his cheeks from turning a deep shade of crimson. Rohan pulls Dave closer, digging his enormous erection into Dave's butt. "Go to sleep now. We will talk properly tomorrow." "I won't be the same person tomorrow," Dave says, his voice carrying a sense of defeat. "What do you mean? I don't understand." Rohan anxiously turns Dave around, making sure he's looking at his face. Dave keeps his gaze down, not daring to look up at Rohan. "I can't do this with you, I'm sorry." Dave's voice is filled with a mixture of hesitance and remorse as he struggles to convey his emotions. Rohan's heart sinks, heavy feelings of anger and disappointment washing over him. He holds Dave's face in his hands, bends down and kisses his lips. "Don't joke with me right now. Take your words back." "We We come from two different worlds. My father is your servant. How can you even think that we could ever be together? I have a clear path drawn out for me. I have to work hard and get a job so that my father can retire. I don't have the liberty to fool around like you." The entire conversation has suddenly sobered Dev up. He gets up from the bed and starts looking around for his clothes. "Fool around? Do you actually think I'm just fooling around with you?" Rohan can feel himself getting more and more frantic, with Dev rushing to get his clothes and putting them on in front of him. "Regardless of what you are doing with me, I can't be with you," Dev says, his gaze at the floor and his hand about to unlock the door of the room. "Why the fuck did you come in here tonight then? You should have kept up your little act of ignoring me and treating me like dirt like you always do. Every time you get my hopes up and then bolt away like this, shutting your heart off from me. Can't you even have a tiny bit of faith in me?" Rohan's voice is breaking, his eyes welling up with tears that are threatening to spill over at any moment. "I'm sorry, I won't bother you ever again." Dev's voice is bleak. He's unable to look up at Rohan. Bitter tears of helplessness have pooled in his eyes. He twists the door handle, but his legs are frozen, rooted to the spot with hesitation. "I don't want to go. Don't let me leave. Hold me. Make me yours. Let's stay in this room forever." Rohan stands up and walks towards Dev. He gently puts his arm around his waist and rests his chin on Dev's shoulder. "Baby, listen to me. All these doubts you're having, all these challenges and difficulties that we will face if we start dating, let's talk about them. We will find a solution together. Why do you think that us being apart is the only solution to these problems? I thought you were way smarter than this. Let's stop this game now, please. I'm really tired. I'm so tired that I'm not myself anymore. You have to be mine and I have to be yours. There is no other way. You hear me? Rohan kisses Dev's ear and presses his face into the back of his hair. The familiar and comforting scent of the Axe cologne that Dev usually wears, mixed with the sweet scent of his body and the alcohol that he drank tonight, still lingers in the air. Rohan is now holding Dev's face tightly, gently placing kisses on the back of Dev's neck. He smiles, thinking that if someone else wore a cheap and musty cologne like Axe, his reaction would be completely different. But somehow this scent against Dev's skin, mixed with his natural aroma, is so alluring to him that he can't help but bring Dev closer, licking the back of his neck, the off-putting scent melting perfectly with Dev's skin, creating an enchanting combination and making Rohan's brain hazy with desire. A rush of sensation cascades through Dev's entire body, and he feels his legs going weak. Afraid he would melt into a puddle and fall to the floor, Dev places both of his hands on the door in order to support his body. His mind completely stops working as Rohan continues to torment him with feather-light kisses on the back of his neck. "Fuck it, let your father's master's son fuck you till you can't walk anymore." Dev's internal monologue is making him want to burst out laughing, but he suppresses his chuckle and turns around, smiling mischievously at Rohan and urgently kissing him. As Dev and Rohan deepen their kiss and Rohan drags Dev back into bed, it's pretty clear to both of them that no matter what happens, not being together is not an option for them anymore. Rohan climbs on top of Dev and holds both of his hands in a tight grip and places them above his head. He then bends down to kiss his belly button and places gentle kisses on his belly. Dev moans shamelessly and squirms and wriggles under Rohan, twisting his body as the part between his legs itches and yearns for Rohan to fill it to the brim and make the discomfort go away. The heated atmosphere in the room is disrupted when suddenly there is a loud knock on the door. Rohan and Dev jolt up in sync and Rohan grabs his watch from the nightstand to check the time. "It's light outside. What time is it?" Dev says as he frantically looks for his clothes, which were on the floor again, and puts them on. "It's 7 a.m. Rohan looks up at Dev in sudden disbelief. His expression is a mixture of surprise and mild exasperation. "Who is it?" Rohan asks in a loud voice, getting up from the bed and taking out a t-shirt from the wardrobe before putting it on. Ro, wake up, we got practice, remember? Arav's voice echoes through the door. Right, why don't you guys start on breakfast? I'll freshen up and meet you in the hall. Yup, make sure the two of you are decent. I bet you both didn't sleep a wink all night and will come out looking like a pair of panda couples. Arav's demonic laugh filters through the door as Dev looks at Rohan with a horrified expression on his face. Fuck off! Okay, I'm going. No need to shout, lover boy. Rohan and Dev can hear Arav's playful laughter floating through the corridor and slowly subsiding. Dev looks at Rohan, waiting for an explanation. My friends know. Don't worry, it's fine. Your friends know? That means Aisha also knows? No, she doesn't know. Rohan's reply is swift, his eyes betraying a hint of apprehension. I wonder why. Dev animatedly scratches his chin, giving Rohan a scornful look. Baby, come here. I will tell her. I will tell her after this festival, okay? Rohan pulls Dev by his waist and makes him sit on his lap. Promise? Yes, promise. Rohan gently turns Dev's face towards him and places a light kiss on his cheeks, reassuring him. Dev looks at Rohan. The sincerity in his eyes makes him feel at ease. He still can't believe what happened last night, but he's sure of one thing now, and that is that he can't go back to pretending that he doesn't love Rohan ever again.